One of the schools I went to when we lived in Keene actually had a nature trail behind the school. That was like a boardwalk that went through a wetland complex, and the teachers used that as a resource for outdoor education. And um, I didn't really have a name for the profession until I got to SUNY Portland, and they actually had like a program specifically to train environmental educators. And I was like, oh my God, this is a viable career. Like I could do this for a living. And so that was one of those like light bulb moments where I was just like being able to talk about nature, being in nature. It felt like such an incredible thing to share with folks. I genuinely love the field of environmental education, but I do feel like it has some problematic aspects, right? Like it is not the most diverse field. There are many barriers to entry, including livable wage and the conversation within the field itself. There's a lot of folks that are like, okay, well, this needs to be different. Like we need to figure out how we can make this a viable career and bring this resource to as many people as possible. And I appreciate that conversation is happening, but I definitely want to see more action than talking.
Do you have any idea what could unlock the ability to actually value that work for what it's worth? Like having kids that are loving their place, wanting to invest more deeply in their place, stay in their place. The value of that is immeasurable.
Mhm. Honestly, I think, and it goes back to this like cultural shift that you're talking about, right? Is
Yeah.
that as a society in America, we're still so baked into the extractive economy. There's this scarcity mindset, and that's the one thing that I'm always talking about with nature is that nature has its cycles. It has its like, yeah, there can be scarcity, but it's more about like how nature cycles nutrients, and it's very circular. And I think that people there needs to be a shift in how we see the natural world. And I feel like that's how happening very slowly. So I do hope that there's sustained momentum there.